wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Respect the Craft, it's just no longer a podcast anymore, had its debut event, Respect, from the Knights of Columbus in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. The night opens up with the wrestling's richest prize, the Allfather, Mr. Darius Carter. He comes to the ring, and he mentioned that originally, when the show was being put together, he was originally going to face the root of all evil, Charles Mason, one-on-one, but then Mason was not able to appear. It was then announced that Carter would have his brass ring invitational against Brooklyn Outlaw Donovan, but Donovan was put into another match. And then it was announced that the big boofa Desmond Cole was going to face Darius Carter one-on-one, but not sure the reason why he couldn't make the show. Desmond, that is, but Darius said that Desmond was unable to appear. Okay? And, but then Darius Carter, I guess, I don't know, can we say he's run an open challenge? And was answered by the strong spirit, Gabriel Sky. And boy, did these two guys have one great matchup. Gabriel Sky really got this really took the full opportunity of this match. For those who know, Sky comes out to the song "How Soon Is Now." I'm not sure which version it comes out to, but of course I remember that song being the theme of the television show Charmed with Alyssa Milano. Carter had like Gabriel in a sleeper hold, and to the point where I, see I'm wearing a Bret the Hitman Hart t-shirt. I said, hey, I'm wearing this shirt, do the Bret Hart trick, which is the way Bret Hart defeated the late Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8, kicking off the turnbuckles, and Sky tried that, but that didn't work. Eventually, Darius Carter defeats Gabriel Sky with his move, the Royal Sweep. And I kid you not when I say this, folks, that match, if anybody who was there watched live on the YouTube stream thought that was a long match, let me tell you, the Allfather, Darius Carter, defeated Strong Spirit Gabriel Sky at 18 minutes, 19 seconds. I can't remember the last time I was at a show and the opening match went that long. Up next, we had women's action. It was set first initially. It was going to be Valentina Vasquez versus the Kick Demon Janai Kai. Then it was turned to a triple threat match: Valentina Vasquez versus the Kick Demon Janai Kai versus the Nightmare of Your Dreams, Amelie LeVay. But then it went back to this singles match, which occurred. The Kick Demon Janai Kai defeated Valentina Vasquez with the Dragon Sleeper Clutch. Vasquez tapped out to the match, and I kid you not when I say this, that match went 7 minutes, 11 seconds. I didn't have a big gulp or a Slurpee to celebrate the time of the match. Up next was the Fight for Flight Scramble? Fight or Flight Scramble? As we saw, Paid in Full Anthony Gamble versus Hamlet Hurtsu versus the Star Killer Steve Off. Love when he came out with Indestructible by Disturbed. Versus Mateo Marcelos versus Malik Delvante versus Andre Polino. Six-way matchup. At one point, off, and Marcelo they took it to the curtain and they didn't come back out. I believe Gamble seemingly had the match won, but all of a sudden, Matthew Ryan, who I remember being managing the New York Wrecking Crew in House of Glory, they grabbed the referee, but then Chris Seaton, who I remember was of the New York Wrecking Crew, he I think went after Anthony Gamble. Andre Polino defeated Anthony Gamble, Steve Off, Mateo Marcellos, Hamlet Hertzu, and Malik Delvante to win the six-way scramble at 9 minutes 21 seconds. Alright, next matchup was singles competition. We saw the Cambodian Dragon, Yo-Ya, do battle with the cause of it all, Joey Conway. There was a big terms of height difference between these two men. The cause of it all, Joey Conway defeated Cambodian Dragon, Yo-Ya at 7 minutes 40 seconds. And then next matchup, we saw singles action. We saw my fellow Brooklynite, the Brooklyn Outlaw, Donovan, do battle with the Psycho Samurai, Akira. Good matchup these two had. The Psycho Samurai, Akira, defeats Brooklyn Outlaw, Donovan at 11 minutes 5 seconds. And at that point, the show had gone to intermission. I don't know how long it actually went. I gotta say, the lights, those special lights that they were using in the building, kept going out during matches, and they were blinding. As I said to Jason Bob 87, who was sitting right next to me for this show, just like that, like Manfred Mann said, blinded by the light. I felt like saying that at one point. Okay, we come back with the rest of the show. We have finally have a four-way tag team match. As we see, Matt Awesome and Jarrett Diaz, the Uptown Boys, versus Bulldog Pittman and All Day Kenny Bengal, the Silk City Kings, versus representing Kane Industries, the I guess RTC chapter, Adam Kane and Absolute Alvin Alvarez with their manager Silk E. Smooth, versus Smiley and Eden, accompanied by Trixie, Project Mayhem. Good four-way these four teams had. Project Mayhem defeated the Uptown Boys, Silk City Kings, and the combo of Adam Kane and Absolute Alvin Alvarez at 6 minutes 14 seconds. Next match, we were set to see the Nomi, Gabby Forza, do battle with the Harvester of Sorrow, or is it Sorrows, Sammy Chaos. Just before the match came out, RTC's founding father, Ray Sanchez, he comes out and he makes the announcement that this match was going to crown the very first RTC Respect Women's Champion. And I think somebody brought the belt to the ring, and I noticed the RTCs on the side of the belts. It kind of looks like an old Ring of Honor logo. Great match these two ladies had. They took it to each other. Sammy Chaos defeats Gabby Forza at 14 minutes, 24 seconds to become the first ever RTC Respect Pro Women's Champion. And then we were set for the main event. We were to see Bear Bronson do battle with Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone. Just before that match got underway, Ray Sanchez comes out and says that our main event will crown the first ever heavyweight champion, and another belt was brought out and had a red strap on it. Match was on, and pretty hard hitting, knockdown, drag out affair. I forgot, somebody accidentally bumped into referee Stephen Dumeng. Gangone brought a chair into play and eventually nails Bronson with it, and he puts the mandible claw on. Dumeng comes in the ring, and he only checked his arm once and it dropped, and he called for the bell. Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone, defeats Bear Bronson at 20 minutes, 4 seconds to become the first ever RTC Respect Pro, Respect Wrestling heavyweight champion, ending a great night of wrestling. I will say, a personal note, it's good to see it sitting with Jason Bob 87 for this event. Jason Bob 87 for this one. I wish there was like a diner or some place to eat that's open late in the Ridgefield Park area. I mean, there's places in the area, but they close at 10 or 11 o'clock tops. It'd be nice to go somewhere and record a video. Not only go eat after a show in that area, in that town, but also, record the video there. I'd have one less thing to do when I would get home from these shows. All right. It was announced that RTC Wrestling, Respect Wrestling, Respect Pro Wrestling, I don't know what's the proper actual name of the federation, but they will return on Friday, November 14th, back in Ridgefield Park with No Escape. Pretty certain the first crown women's champion, Sammy Chaos, and the first crown heavyweight champion, Anthony Gangone, will be on the card. My understanding, because a lot of people were removed from this event for one reason or another, hopefully, because I remember initially Arcadia, who was a big star, was a star in Jersey All Pro Wrestling long ago. I was so bummed out when he was going to have a match, but then he was no longer on the show. So hopefully you can get him back in the future, Ray. Also, Emily LeVay was in attendance, even though she wasn't on the show. Hopefully she'll be get to have a match on November 14th. I forgot to mention, I guess my new thing for Bear Bronson. I mean, had a good, not a good matchup, but I might have to refer to him from this point on. A certain wrestler from Long Island, New York, known as Bear Bronson. Bear Bronson. I gotta remember to do that when I mention him now. Yeah, Ray Sanchez, congratulations on having a great first debut event. I wonder if those championship belts were like mailed, came in the mail for you either the day of or the day before the show. I know, as Shane Fair pointed out, there were people who tried to break Ray down, but it didn't happen. And obviously, it did one show. We got another show coming up, and I want to say it. and to show you how much I was thrilled with the show, I have added, if you can take a good look there, added a divider that will go into my binder, especially since it's going to be a second show for whether it be Respect the Craft Wrestling, Respect Pro Wrestling, Respect Wrestling, you know. Again, I was hoping it would have been a bigger crowd for this event, because this show was like put together, like the wheels began to go in motion. The announcements were being made like 6 months before the show even happened. But you know, hopefully the next show in November they'll have a big crowd. Hopefully you can have the root of all evil, Charles Mason, on that event, and hopefully Desmond Cole, and I forgot who else was over it. And if he's ready, if he recovers from his injury, Colossal Mike Law. He was supposed to be on this event, but he got injured. Hopefully there'll be more women's matches, and we gotta have some more tag. I mean, eventually there'll be tag team champions crowned. Definitely some tag teams I have in mind you can bring into the company as time goes on. You know, hopefully the Audacity, Seth and Micah Cortez. That's one team right off the bat I can think of. I can't remember it. I'm sure there's like a lot of talent they want to bring in as time goes on, but I go one show at a time, folks. But RTC, 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 RTC. They let the wrestling speak.